Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the stream. It could be happening right here before your eyes. Kinguin could eliminate NaVi from the running. A team that seems to have consistency in the last couple months, up there with Fnatic and TSM, yet here they stand to be potentially knocked down a peg or three.
Yeah, that would just be mind-blowing. It means they would have eliminated Virtus.pro and NaVi from the group stage in a best-of-3, both games. This is very impressive from Kinguin.
Skulls on the mantelpiece. How many can they collect? That is the question as we move into Overpass. NaVi, clearly, as we saw on camera, a team where they need to retain their composure and find balance here. They need their yang to their ying.
Yeah.
They need the Torvald to their Dean, then. They need the sugar to the salts.
By the way,
or pepper, whatever you like.
Just something.
There's 3, we can just take 2.
I just noticed that usually when we're in the studio, we're sat down.
Sausage and chips.
And now you can see that James is actually pretty tall. Because, to be honest, you're like 6'2", all right? So, you don't know what that means. But I'm basically 6 foot, and so this guy is...
I'm 6 foot beast.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so I've been, you know, doing the photo people thing. People are like, "You're really tall, man." I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Everyone says that because we have the chairs, so we all like lined up.
Yeah, indeed.
We line them up at FACEIT.
We do things properly, apart from when we're wearing vests.
Absolutely. But back into the topic at hand. We're going into Overpass. So what do you guys really expect here? Because the reputation for Kinguin on Overpass is very good at the moment. It plays to their strengths. It's actually the only map that they really have consistency against really good teams on. And now they could knock NaVi out on it, so that's...
Yeah, tell us, Rhett, tell us.
Yeah, I think they beat both Virtus and NaVi online on this map, which is kind of a good thing for them at this moment. And I still, however, feel like this is LAN now. This is a bigger event. It's going to be way tougher than an online game. And if NaVi can just collect themselves after that Inferno game, I actually still would favor NaVi slightly to win this map. But like, if they just choke in the way they did there at the end, I'm just going to use Zeus push through the smoke as an example again. He just pushes through the smoke when they have a 5v4. And that's something we rarely see from a player like Zeus. I mean, NaVi is known for being the team that just plays disciplined Counter-Strike, not doing mistakes like that. So if they keep doing that, I think they're going to lose. If they can just collect themselves and not choke, even though maybe they lose the pistol round, maybe they will be forced to eco in the beginning, maybe Kinguin will be leading 5-1. As long as they don't choke or start fighting with each other, I still think they will be able to win this game.
I mean, you brought up the point previously when we went on camera that maybe it is we talked about respect a lot. Maybe it's that, I wouldn't say lack of experience, because your experience helps with this, but we're losing against a team we feel are inferior to us, and it starts to get into your head. I mean, what are your thoughts on that angle here for NaVi? How do they even get past that if it is an issue?
Yeah, that's a very good point. When you're playing on what's on paper looks like a weaker team, it feels like you're more trying to avoid losing than actually trying to win. And that means if you're down, let's say 4-0, as they were on the CT side on Inferno, you start to panic. You're just trying to find a solution. Okay, we cannot lose. We cannot lose. Instead of trying to focus on your own game, just trying to win instead.
It's like the classic England football team of the 90s and the noughties. Go up 1-0, they're like, all right, lads, we've done it, get the kettle on, and just defend. And then they eventually lose, you know? You have to play to win.
It actually reminds me of NIP's situation right now as well. It's like very similar, because we actually know that NIP can absolutely be like a top 2, top 3 team. They have shown us everything, all the skills, all the strategy, all the tactics. Maybe some things could use polish, but it's all there. It's all there. So the same can be said for NaVi. So is it just psychological? Is it just some variance?
Yeah, but that's the weird thing with NaVi. They have the disciplined play. They have the strats. They have everything. We saw the Molotov round towards the B site one time. And then I think Denis got 2 kills there, kind of lucky to get the 2nd kill. And then they didn't try that once after that. They just went for these aim duels in mid and towards the B bomb site. So either NaVi just trying some super weird new style, or they're just actually choking.
Yeah, it is very out of character for NaVi to play in such a way.
I guess we can all have bad days.
Absolutely, but these guys they are recent champions multiple times. They have to be just brimming with confidence. Up to this point, they've been playing great Counter-Strike. No, there's a blip in the road, but now here's where the test is. Here's the question: like, are you a champion?
So
or not?
Again, something I want to talk about is let's break this map down into halves a little bit. Okay, so if we get, I think it's fair to say Kinguin will be the most dangerous on the CT side because, I guess basically for the same reason that they were dangerous on Inferno. I mean, what are your thoughts on Kinguin here on the CT side?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you can play aggressive long, you can play aggressive in the toilets, sewers also, and these are positions where you alone can inflict a lot of damage, and that's the exact style that Kinguin wants to play. However, if NaVi knows how Kinguin wants to play, they should be able to counter it.
How would the best way be to counter something like that, would you say?
I would actually maybe start with, let's say, a B execute, because I think it's very likely we're going to see an A aggression from Kinguin, which means it's going to be a very long rotation towards that B site, and after that, force Kinguin to play 3 guys on B by doing B executes, and then go back to the default style towards A. Just trying to play super slow. You know that Scream is going to be around, toilets or short towards A, so just play it slow, try to force him back towards that A site, and then just go for the execute.
We actually saw Zeus get, I think, a 30 bomb yesterday, and he was actually securing Suez every round just with the Molotov over the top. You know, something that we saw on Reddit from nothing, that same Molotov, just to get control of Suez. So NaVi have the tools.
I was going to say, I think this sewer area is going to be key for both teams in this match, and if they can control it on either side, then that may dictate how successful both these teams will be. But we're going to be into the pistol round now, and it's NaVi going straight for sewer control immediately with 3 players, so they have the people there. They've got the personnel to trade if needed. They've got sewers, they've got connector, which means that they have their options. Kinguin set up for a triangle of doom at the top of connector, but it seems that NaVi are setting up for the B play.
Interesting that the bomb is kind of lurking behind. Okay, they're tossing the bomb around. I'm not sure who's actually picking that one up, but the play into B is going to commence. Now the nades are soaring in onto the bomb site, and we have Kinguin looking for the defense and the rotation from the other site, and the bomb will go down immediately. This is good for NaVi, but Kinguin, they have been dangerous with these pistols in the past. And here we go, the action is about to begin.
So they're basically playing a retake towards the B-bomb site. Let's see how successful this can be. They should know the angles that Zeus is hiding in one of them. He's not going to win the duel. Rain taking down Zeus, Guardian taking down Rain in the trade. Scream will take down flamie elsewhere, and it's going to be a 2 versus 2 now, as a knife kill comes in from Seas in these shenanigans. So Scream's on the site, but he can't find the frags here, and NaVi will take the first round with some bonus money as well.
Yeah, Kinguin doing the most default seated pistol you can do, which is 3 guys aggressive on A, go for the flank if they go for the B, execute 2 guys defensive on B, trying to Molotov that site. I think the guy who Molotov the site waited a bit too long because the bomb actually went down. I don't know if he missed the Molotov, because you really need to delay the plant there with that Molotov.
That knife kill was straight up Cluedo from the back.
Yeah, straight up Cluedo. I like it, but this is what we're talking about. The Molotov from Seas, if the Force Buy wanted to get aggressive into sewers, which is very, very common, boom. Won't be able to do it. We see the spray into the wallbang position. It's going to cover some of the footsteps in through Monster. NaVi, they run this round every day of their lives, it would seem. And is it going to deliver? We get loads of kills coming in from the pistols of Kinguin. And once again, the round seems to explode in the face of the individual prowess with those pistols. Bomb will be planted, but at a man deficit, Kinguin may still have a chance back in this one.
NaVi have biggest rotation EU, and they spotted a player over towards the A site. Seemingly no Teslenko coming in for the CT side. And this round is moving slowly post-plant, which means that that flank will be all important. Rain coming in, and the player's gone back to short. That's Edward left. He finds a trade, but where is Scream? Scream likely doesn't have time to go for the defuse and find the frag, and indeed he will back off and save what he has.
I don't understand why the Kinguin players rotated back through connector when they knew that NaVi was on that B side. Sure, it's hard to win the duels towards sewers when you're going out the door, but when they have no kit, they don't have time to rotate back through city spawn. And I think they could have won that round if they just stay there in sewers.
Yeah, it's a good start for NaVi, though. I mean, they must have been feeling very uncertain. A lot of questions, a lot of, I mean, they know how good Kinguin can be on Overpass. So this is experience coming through. Great to have a good start for them. I mean, Kinguin, I feel like Kinguin today, there is no position you can put them in where they are going to feel out of confidence. They're coming in as the underdogs. They're coming in with no one putting big expectations on them. They're already having what they would, I imagine, feel is a good tournament. So Kinguin are incredibly dangerous right now. They are so dangerous. So here we go.
They're actually gonna, they have that scout, they have that C set on Scream, and if they manage to win this round, they would force NaVi to an eco, but this should be quite an easy round for NaVi.
So we'll see if flamie leads the charge with that Mach 10. Indeed, he can take the duels there, because if he loses that, it will be a little bit crap against the helmets in comparison to the AKs being carried by the other players. No one down for either side yet as the bombing gets planted. Kinguin may set up for some post-plant, try to steal some guns. NaVi may be reading that, already pushing out as far as they can without leaving the bomb vulnerable. Kinguin players coming in from the standard CT areas. We'll see if they find any frags. Already a crossfire in connector, which should be very helpful for NaVi to save these guns.
Landing the shots on NaVi at the moment. They are managing to get rid of those pesky Kinguin players. However, there are still some... Maikelele, my God. That was so fast, that wallbang. Very nice.
And he's dead.
Yeah, that was very, very cool to see. But he's going to be in the dirty water by the Suez.
There's definitely urine in that water, Dan, but it wasn't left by me.
How are you sure? How can you be so sure?
Well, that it wasn't left by me?
Yes.
Don't know.
I would always call it into question. So 3-0. NaVi are having a good start. Everything is going as it should. We're into the bye round of Kinguin, and they don't have as many nades as they would want. Maybe not an AWP as they would want, but they have Scream on the A side of the map. And that is time and time again, that Scream-Rain combo, that is so scary to deal with.
Indeed it is, but what's even scarier is NaVi's prowess on this map, generally speaking. They're starting to emerge. Again, they have a 3-0 lead at the moment, and the CTs are definitely going to want to plug these rounds that NaVi seem to be finding. Losing the duel in the sewer area, again, we said this area would be important. NaVi with the trade, which will give them control, and that will give them advantages, options, flexibility.
And that was a hungry push there from Fox. He wanted some info. Oh, look at the taps. Look at the taps from flamie. He'll get one quick frag. He does go down quite low, though, as he tries to push the issue. However, Edward is there to help him out. He's going to take down Rain. And the A side of the map kind of falls into place here for NaVi. At least their side of the map, the toilets area, they have now claimed it. However, the bomb is rotating back towards B. And we will see NaVi trying to delay rotation. I really like this. Oh, interesting stuff, going straight through Suez, looking for the B play.
That's beautiful.
And looks like Maikelele, he's got a big job to do. He's going to try to step up. That's a nice flash in. That actually keeps him alive. And Denis takes down the frag onto flamie. This could just happen for Kinguin out of nowhere. Maikelele is still down by the water. And he will finally be eliminated. But still a 1-on-2 with Denis looking for the clutch. He will not get the 1-on-1. That, again, scary round from Kinguin, but not going to happen.
And that was a perfect round for NaVi in every way. First, they went for the default opening. They went for the trade towards Fox on in the sewers. And after that, they went close towards A. They did the A execute, fake, and went back towards the B side. And they actually threw a smoke there from short towards A down to the B side. Just a cool little extra bonus there. It
almost looked like a double fake because of the angle it came from would suggest that this is a fake with a lurker, but no, the bomb goes there. Really nice stuff. And NaVi, they're going to lose a few players here in this eco from Kinguin as both teams battle for the sewer area. flamie with an important position though. That's going to pinch the CTs on short, leaving only Scream here versus 2. So considerable damage done to the NaVi side, and they don't have a bomb site in their control just yet. Scream going to change up his position, unable to pick up a rifle though, as NaVi will move slowly. I was going to say NaVi show more than most teams the importance of holding that sewer area. As you saw, they set up for that trade in the previous round, but we'll have to focus on this for now as there are only 2 players remaining versus Mr. Aim_Overpass.
Yeah, it's going to take Scream a while to get there as he's trying to make sure that he can catch a double back, which if they would go for it, he'd be very favorable. So actually it's quite really smart from Scream. But yeah, I was wondering, where is that Molotov from Seized? That would have shut it down, but here comes Scream from the back, and he might pick up some weapons. Now he fancies himself a frag here onto Zeus. Almost gets it, 20 health left. on Mr. Zeus. However, there are flames to deter Scream, and he does not have a fire extinguisher, James. There is no fire extinguisher on Overpass.
And another thing about that rotation he did is it allows him to pick up a gun on the way, and it seems he's not going to opt for the push here, as he's probably expecting to be traded, almost guaranteed. He'll opt to save the AK instead. But great damage done here on an eco round for Kinguin, but NaVi on T side find themselves at 5-0.
Yeah, this round will be the first real weapon round for Kinguin. I think they're going to go for at least one op. The question is, will they go for the long peek or will they try to peek aggressive into Monster? We see that op on Maikelele. It looks like he's going towards the A side, so maybe he'll go for the long peek. One player will hide behind the tree and long. It's the most usual play you do with the op, but he's actually going here towards short. Maybe he's just going to go for the fast pick.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to try and go for a fast peek into the underpass. That's not going to be the case, as he is distributing the nades up top. Another flash as well.
He's covering for these long guys who are wrapping around now, looking for their sideways engagement. They're going to find it, Rain. It's a lot of damage, but where's the frag? Guardian's very low. Two players, Edwin and flamie, they're dead right at the start of the round. The first 20 seconds, they are nowhere to be seen. What on earth do NaVi do right now? Because Kinguin, they're falling all the way back. They know exactly how to play this. It's going to take something pretty amazing from NaVi to save this. What do they do, Threat?
All the Kinguin players alive.
Yeah, I mean, NaVi's they just have to go for the picks here. They just want to pressure the economy of Kinguin. There's no way they're going to win this round. And it looks like they're just going to put some pressure towards that B side. And it's very, very difficult because Kinguin is playing this perfectly. They're just playing super defensive. They know they don't want to give up a single weapon at this point.
Oh my God.
Player has been spotted, but what can he do through breeze block wall?
If that was wallbangable, they would both be dead. Look, they don't know he's there. They must be able to hear the jumping as well, but they're both looking towards short. That is such cool information for the team.
The problem is Guardian is on such a long rotation. I think he's continually spotting for Guardian to try and do something here, but he was miles away. Bomb being retrieved, and Guardian, can he find the frags? Going for the peak, finding the frag. We've seen him do horrible things to teams from this position before, and he's looking to do even more. Can't find a head on this occasion, and he will be the only one left here.
Yeah, Guardian's not really connecting a lot of his shots. In fact, the last time we saw NaVi on this map, it was Seized who stood out so much more than every other player. Guardian couldn't really get the AWP going, and it was on the T side where he suffered the most. And against Kinguin, you can only imagine that it's going to be very, very hard for Guardian to make himself count. And we could see there, you know, he couldn't hit the clutch shots. So 5-1, Kinguin back in it, double AWP as well. Maikelele and Fox.
Do play AVP.
Fox will go for the D peek here towards Monster.
NaVi with a limited buy. You have to wonder if they'll go for a fast play. Look how deep Kinguin are once again down long. I have to see how this works out for them long term. Aggressive coming in. We've got flashes. They seem prepared for this map indeed, and Maikelele will just about manage to make his escape. As you commonly see from CT side, see that early aggression over towards upper, and then as time passes and the Ts will be advancing their position, they slowly move back. This time it will not yield in any frags here from the Kinguin side. So he's just checking long as NaVi gather themselves towards the connector area.
And I really like this from NaVi. It looks like they're just going to try to go for a fake play here again. They should leave. They're actually rotating all guys here towards Sewers. Looks like the full B commitment for NaVi. No, they're leaving one guy. This is good. They just need to keep the players on A.
See how carefully Zeus positions himself to receive the bomb. You have to be careful with that, because if it hits the floor, that's instant information for Kinguin.
Oh no, Fox gets the shot, flamie goes down. We're on the peak. There is the trade, but can NaVi push their way in? Denis is still alive. He's still looking to delay these NaVi players as they try to get the bomb planted on B. But he's actually going to go and be hidden. Now his teammates have arrived onto the scene. Denis, you can expect his position, but when is he going to peek and where is he going to peek from? Looks like Zeus will make an entry, make life easier for NaVi, and the dive comes in on the reload, and Denis will go down. 7 seconds to get that bomb planted. Kinguin just want to hold it off, but can they do it in time? Looks like the bomb will go down, and it is going to be a 2-on-2 after plant. Rain's going to spray into the back of Scream. At least he takes down Zeus at the same time, but Edward, he's still alive. He can still play the bomb. And Edwards played this situation so many times. Look at the backstab. Look at this backstab. This should be... Oh my God, Rain!
In the face, baby.
This guy. That's all I gotta say. This guy.
Clutch round victory for his team. Salvages one of the 2 AWPs. A super expensive round for Kinguin, but more important than all, they win the round.
And they did have 4 guys surviving that previous round, so they still have some money in the bank. We see over 3K here on 2 players at least. And they will keep the double up setup, which means they're probably going to peek Zeus. I think Guardian is going to get the entry kill here towards Fox, if Fox is going to peek Monster.
Indeed, and this might be a problem that they have 2 ops if NaVi go for a fast play, which is possible considering they only have 3 rifles, because it may make the hold difficult unless we get some clutch play coming in. But Denis is in position, Fox finding a headshot straight away onto Zeus, and Scream is in a position for a fast rotation onto short B, looking through the connector doors. So Kinguin well versed to hold this down. There's another frag coming in for them. Fox will fall, so will Scream. That's the connector flank taken care of, as the site player for NaVi carrying the bomb will go down as well, leaving only Edward versus 2.
Yeah, really good 3K there from Denis, just staying alive forever. That smoke on Monster pretty much dismantled the play. And Edward once again looks to get something done in a situation where it's incredibly difficult, and he will go down. 3 rounds consecutively from Kinguin. NaVi got that fast 5, but it's starting to look like NaVi do not have a response for these. The early round pressure and damage from Kinguin's CT side overpass.
And Denis is just a master of collateral damage through smokes.
Yeah.
I think he dinged 2 players through the smoke when he just shot at 1 guy.
That's really hard to deal with.
So NaVi going to be on just the pistols this time with 3 flashbangs, and again we can expect a fast play, but I think they might have had a number of players flash. That's a nice snap from Maikelele. He's going to make a run for it and let the M4s do the work and reposition. Can he find any more frags? Not going to get that shot. Going to get taken down by Zeus. So the numbers for NaVi are thinning. There's no bomb plant just yet, and there won't be any bomb plant. Kinguin surviving with 4 players, and they should be able to retrieve the AWP as well. No.
All right, so things looking very bad for for NaVi, as this reminds me of Inferno a little bit. No real no solution with the default on their T side.
Yeah, I really want to see an A execute here from NaVi. I think they never even tried to go towards that A site on a weapon round. They're going for the B push again.
I think they have put so much respect to Scream over by A, but Denis requires just as much respect. He is ripping them to shreds. They can't even get through the monster tunnel just yet. They are using nades so well, staggering that push of the terrorist side, and will finally get a kill onto Denis as he goes for a deep peek, but Rain is right there to replace him. And hell, they've only lost Denis. It's a 4-on-1.
NaVi needs to take a timeout now. They cannot keep playing like this. They're just forcing themselves onto that B side. They could just try to play a slow round towards A. And as you said, I think it was a round where Scream went aggressive on A long, which kind of scares them for going for that play. However, they need to try it at least once.
I think they might have been trying to rush the AWPer, because in the previous round, Maikelele was playing the barrel area. So surely he's more than likely only going to take 1 down in that situation, but Maikelele was in a completely different area, and it was Denis over towards the barrels instead. So I think they're trying to make a read on Kinguin and punish them, but Kinguin are changing things up, and that's working out for them at the moment.
This is a very interesting situation. I mean, this is also a time where Denis, Edward can actually pick up some money. He's managed to find a bomb plant. I don't know how that can happen in this situation, 1 versus 4, but he has. Edward's looking to try to clutch this. The bomb is ticking away. Here it is. Multiple players on. Okay, nothing done by Edward, but he got some extra money for his team. So there is that at the very least. But as you said, would really like to see a timeout here, because NaVi need to assess the situation and just soak in, absorb what has been happening.
Yeah, the biggest problem for NaVi is that Kinguin have been able to build up a big bank, which means they need to string a lot of rounds together if they want to force Kinguin to Nico.
If you're a NaVi fan, are you scared right now?
Yes, I would be. Because Kinguin, they could, maybe not 10 rounds, but 8 or 9 rounds, plus they will have a big momentum going into that T side.
Kinguin, we're going to start aggressive again in round 11. We'll see if it will yield any results here. Nice pop flash coming in through the connector area, but there is nobody to find, as most of the NaVi players are upstairs with a lurker towards the B bomb site, playing passively, looking through Monster at the moment. Guardian expecting some aggression towards long, but again, Kinguin have changed things around. Maikelele standing in the boost spot. This may be unexpected, because normally you see people standing on the side, but he doesn't want to get pre-fired. And again, with the timing, he will move away. Kinguin looking tried and tested on this map. And it's working out for them. Rain pushing to the T side of Connector, and he will find the first frag onto Zeus. And now NaVi will not know what is safe and what is not.
Yeah, it's a really strange opening, actually, from NaVi. They've taken the party area very slowly. Oh, the doubles on the spray. Seas is going to bring them straight back into this round when things were looking a little bit strange, a little bit weird, like they were down on options. And now it is an advantage they have found. They have time to play with it as well as Kinguin. Have to rely on Maikelele. He's going to toss over a flash and once again fall back. He's playing it very passively, but Denis, with that connector control, he will be breathing down the neck of these NaVi players as they go for the aggression. He's going to shut down the play into a B possibility. And now they have to move into Maikelele. They're going to hit the entries. Guardian comes into play, gets the long-range shot. No, in fact, it will be flamie, but still, 2 players surviving. But without that double on the spray down of Seas, that is just... I'm still worried for NaVi here. Kinguin look really strong, and they still look like they're struggling.
Yeah, that was a bit of a lucky timing there from Seas, getting the double kill towards the door. And Kinguin will be able to buy that up again. However, if NaVi wins this next round, I don't know if Kinguin will be able to buy.
The aggression continues, and we're going to see a fast peak, but no results for either side in that exchange. Lots of flashbangs coming in, and we'll see if Edward goes for that jumping peak again. Something that Cloud9 tried to punish was Edward's jumping peak around that corner, but we're not seeing it from any other team. C's going to get another free kill here, almost a second as well, but the CT will make it out of dodge. So, man advantage for NaVi, a minute 15 on the clock. They have got loads of time to play with here.
And this is what we want to see from NaVi. After getting that first kill, fall back and this go together.
And they spotted all the players here for the defense of Kinguin, and they are ripping them asunder. It's going to be just 2 players left, Rain and Denis, and all of a sudden NaVi starting to look like they have found some life on Overpass. Edward in with the backstab onto Rain, and Seas finishes up the business towards the B bomb site. Seas has been doing a really good job, to be honest. He's keeping his team in this. He made the opening, he alleviated some pressure, and NaVi's 7 to Kinguin's 5. Now you start to worry for Kinguin, especially if you're a Kinguin fan. It's definitely looking hard.
I just want to point out how crucial the timing for Seas getting the double kill on that door area was for this game, because this might be the comeback again here for NaVi.
The perfect time on the money.
Indeed, they only need 1 moment to get their momentum from 0 to 100. They're going down the hill with no breaks at the moment. Kinguin on the pistols, taking some early damage there, and Zeus finding himself the first frag. So this is a tricky map when the CTs are on the eco. Lots of corners to check, lots of one-tap positions for the CTs to find themselves in, such as Maikelele right there.
I think that Seas actually threw the incendiary this round as well, the Molotov, and they all went short, so completely delayed the timing. And that's how it should have been in that previous round where they took so much damage to the same push. So far it's flawless as well. Fox and Maikelele looking to prove me wrong though. And there it is, Fox will find the head of Seas, but small consolation in the face of 4 men surviving for NaVi. 8-5, and they look like they are finishing strong in the first half.
And no AWP here for Kinguin. Maybe they will try to go for the aggressive long play again. We've only seen that once, I think. But it looks like 3 players going towards B, which means it's probably going to be a default round here for Kinguin.
All those B plays from NaVi, that first half of the first half looked so crazy, but this looks a little bit more normal now. The slow A pushes, the defaults coming into play. And we have a full rifle set up on Kinguin. They have most of the grenades, not perfect, but it will do. And they're playing without an AWP now, so will this help or hurt them, I wonder?
Seas has been such a almost a talisman for NaVi this weekend, and that stroke of luck may be the coin flipper here for NaVi, putting things back into their favor. Looking to close out the first half strong, already with a 3-round lead, with only 5 rounds on the board for Kinguin. Could have been so different, but here we are. Bye for both teams again, no AWP for Kinguin as aforementioned. 2 players moving down along for NaVi as we have 2 more approaching the toilets and 1 lurking towards B. So no one venturing into sewers at present. CTs with a bit of a crossfire situation, a bit of a bait there towards the toilets, but the flank coming in is not going to yield the right results here. Scream finding the headshot despite the flash.
Yeah, we have some good flashes coming in from NaVi, but somehow Scream finds a double kill, and that has completely shut this down, it would seem, as it's just Guardian who's left alive, and they are still, or Kinguin are still holding on to very key positions, and with the bomb dropped in the toilets, Guardian needs a massive play. And here he comes, moving in for the bomb pickup. He's got 15 seconds, so he just has to survive and try to do as much damage as he can. He misses the shot, pulls out the P250, and now it's going to be just holding off the onslaught if they try to go and remove that AWP from him. And he's actually throwing it away for some reason, picking it back up again.
He's just pressing all the buttons on his keyboard. But Cat's come in and had a sleep.
There was a really cool flash that allowed flamie to get in behind Rain into very forward position on the site. That pushed the player who was towards CT spawn back down the stairs. But flamie wasn't able to make the kill. Had that happened, had Scream not, whilst blind, got the kill there, I think NaVi could have won that round heavily.
Yeah, well, that was a nice execution for NaVi. Just individual performance there from Scream saving Kinguin. And NaVi they still have the lead here on the T side. This is going to be very tough for Kinguin.
Trio of nades over towards the birthday party area. Balloons may have been burst. Apologize if it was you to put them up. So, I would like to see an 8-7 here, purely because it would leave no clear idea as to what might happen on their second half, and who knows what NaVi could do with a 9-6 lead going into the second. But no lead so far for either side on the final round of the first half. Again, we've got that boost coming in, which leaves one CT to look at 2 areas towards the toilets, as the other CT can only muster a very close exchange towards long with little information. So we'll see how long this lasts for Kinguin.
And surely Kinguin needs to peek long now. They can't let NaVi just walk up on them like this.
I like this. NaVi, they lost the previous round quite heavily doing this play, but they said, guys, we got into the right positions, we just didn't hit the shots. Let's do it again. And they are going for it. Will the execute work out? Scream is trapped behind the container there, in amongst the smoke. No idea which way to turn, which way to look. Who is where the bomb is going to be planted here, and Edward is going to fall back to the toilets. We have a very strong situation for NaVi. This execute has panned out brilliantly, and NaVi are executing Kinguin. They are looking very strong for that 9-6, and it seems as if Kinguin, I mean, they let NaVi walk up into the execute, and that seems like, with an execute like that, you cannot let that happen.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the double kill from Seized. NaVi went up 5-0, but that was after winning the pistol round. Kinguin going for that second round force buy, which meant they had a weak first weapon round, and you can actually get an easy 5-0 ST on Overpass if that happens. However, after that, Kinguin taking 5 rounds in a row, very convincingly as well, getting the entry kill on that 10th round, but then Seized getting the double kill, and after that, the game just completely changed.
Well, we are getting into crunch time for both of these teams. Onto the second pistol. The pistols have been crucial all day, and they will continue to be here on Overpass. One of these teams will be sent home. One of these teams will proceed to the next stage of the FACEIT finals here. The bomb is down, and Kinguin are losing players. They're losing all the players. Not a single frag here. Zeus and Guardian going huge.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, there's not much more you can say. That was pretty nuts.
Yeah, that was pretty good trade from NaVi.
Yeah. What, bullets for 5 kills flawlessly. Nice. 10-6. And, well, I mean, Kinguin, if they manage to somehow, with no nades, win this force, then they're looking better, much, much better than if they won the pistol.
This nade
oh God.
is going to do a lot of damage, but oh, they're blind as well. How long can NaVi slowly approach over to the other side of the water here? Kinguin going to lose 3 players, make it 4, just down to Scream versus 4. And he will not find any more frags. Just the one there for Kinguin on the force. No plants.
Oh, it's so hard for Kinguin right now. It really, really sucks for them. I mean, they need to get back in the game. They want to get back in the game right now, but they have to wait for these rounds to play out. At this point, they've got Nico coming up. So we'll have to see whether they can actually bring something together.
Do you know what that nade was? Chunks of death.
I don't know what that means, James, because it sounds really stupid. Well, into the next round, we've got the full Glock Eco, no bomb planted for Kinguin after the force, so they are just going to chill, build up the money, get the AK round in. What are your expectations here? Bjorn, are we expecting a strong rifle round from Kinguin after this Eco cleanup from NaVi?
Yeah, they're just probably going to go for a default round, trying to go for the picks. And I just love how NaVi's playing this anti-eco round. They're playing so far back, no aggression whatsoever. They know Kinguin has to go for that full eco, and they know how crucial it is to save every single weapon. Guardian going down, though, after getting 2 kills. I think Edward should get the last kill. Yes, he will. And almost a flawless round here for NaVi.
I have to ask you, so we're going to this AK buy round of Kinguin. What do you think NaVi have to avoid? What is the way that they can really easily lose this round?
They shouldn't be too aggressive. That's the key versus a team like Kinguin. You don't want to force the aim duels. You just want to go for the early information, force some resources, force some nades from Kinguin, then fall back and play defensive, because then Kinguin has to go for the executes. And I actually doubt that they have an A or B executes on this map.
Right, buy for both sides. All AKs here for the Kinguin side. Guardian doing the Super Mario down the long area. Look at that. Lovely stuff. So, lack of nades on the Kinguin side. They've got lots of smokes, which means you have to wonder if they will, how they will use them. If they will go for a wall as NaVi did in the last round towards A, or if they'll have other plans, if they'll use it to advance their map control. There's a nice flash coming in from Maikelele. Will be spotted, but Edward will be blind nonetheless. Won't find any frags. Guardian will spot 2 players. He will look for a frag. All he will find is a rock. He will move away from the hard place.
That was a really weird position. Well, I mean, Edward was in a good position, but the flash didn't work out. The flash has to work there for that to amount to anything. You can see he didn't have anywhere to fall back to. Guardian couldn't hit the refrag after a couple of attempts. It's a hard shot to hit the shot on players behind that boulder, but this is a good opening from Kinguin now, and despite not having aggression, they're still having troubles, and Seized is in with the challenge. Does take down Rain, so that is going to really help out NaVi to even the situation, but Kinguin are already far up towards A now.
Indeed, but can the Popo hold the site? That is the question. Guardian's there with the AWP, blind for now, but he's in position to do something. He's getting the first frag onto Maikelele, and those smokes are indeed coming in. Dennis trying to spot. Will he find a play close though? No. Scream finding a frag, and Dennis going down to Zeus. 5 seconds left, and Scream's the only man remaining, and he's going to try and salvage his AK, live to fight another day if he can. Paul's coming in as well.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we talked about. NaVi just going for kind of a early aggression in the round, traded 1-for-1, falling back to the site. They actually had a long execute there, Kinguin. However, they actually missed a smoke. They're accidentally throwing it backwards towards long. And maybe that was the key. However, I feel like the A defense of NaVi, when they're playing so defensive, is just so strong.
Right. Well, it's so as far as Kinguin go, they have that execute in the bag. I mean, let's say they do have a B execute. You've seen what they can do towards the A side of the map. We've seen the kind of approach NaVi are taking towards their buy rounds as a default. Where do you find Kinguin having the biggest edge against NaVi here? What can they do to find a big edge?
I think it might be just trying to push the B site without nades, because that's the site you can actually go for without nades more easily. You can just force yourself through short, see if you can get an early pick. If you don't, you can just fall back and just try to dance around. Maybe even go for a fast monster push and just rush on contact. That's a very common play from top teams, and it might actually fit the style of Kinguin.
Harosh! Mr. Sign Holder. Okay.
Harosh Devai.
Harosh. Let's see if NaVi can take this over the line. You can see them looking a lot more relaxed, back to normal NaVi mode as opposed to what we saw on the previous map. Scream. Hey, look, Scream's got an AK with the rest pistols. This is how things should be. All is well. The water is still.
Oh.
And Fox is dead.
Nice pick from Guardian there. He's going to be able to take down Fox straight away, as you mentioned. So now it's a 4-player situation for Kinguin. They need to get the damage in.
You might say the Fox has been hunted, Dan.
You might say that, and you just did.
So let's see if Scream can do anything with the other players he has left. He is carrying the bomb as well, which makes sense as he is the key player of the ones remaining. The Tech-9 squad is wearing thin a bit.
Feels like this is all about Scream at the moment. He's got little minions to jump out to try to get him a shot, and there you go, just like that. But 7 HP is going to be a very, very tough situation to deal with. So Scream has to connect instantly to heads. That's what he has to do.
Edward playing the piano down long, but not going to find the right taps there. I think he's got no damage done. 4 players here for NaVi to hunt the remaining Kinguin, who may find themselves extinct very soon.
I like how you called him the remaining Kinguin. I like that. I like it.
What else do you like, Dan? Give me a list.
I like fountains.
Christmas is coming soon.
I like goldfish.
I wouldn't trust you with a goldfish.
And I like milk. As we discovered
What is it with
recently.
you and milk?
Well,
I'm
referencing our past jokes. That's how you do this thing, right?
Hi, my name's Dan, and I like milk. I'd love to see your dating profile.
Yeah, you painted producer Reese with milk at home.
Oh, yeah.
Enough about that. We have a serious game on our hands, people.
Yeah,
NaVi are 2 rounds away from victory here. Maikelele will find himself on the AWP, and he needs to make this work.
Come on, Kinguin.
Kinguin might not have the all the nades that they would desire, but they've got a few Molotovs in the bag here, a few smokes, flashbangs here and there. They have opportunity. You can see the angle is too passive to find a jumping Edward, should Edward be jumping. Although Edward jumps on the T side, and they are now on the CT side, so never mind.
And you can see that they're respecting the fact that NaVi have played very aggressively in recent rounds. Kinguin are taking a more passive approach, looking for an edge to exploit. And so far, you know, we see NaVi almost getting ahead of this and actually saying, we've got 14 rounds, we're going to play really far into the sites, we're going to force you to come and execute onto us, knowing that your executes are maybe not tip-top. And here we go.
Yeah, NaVi just playing this perfectly. This is how we want to play versus a team like Kinguin, who just want to try to go for the aim duels. I mean, they have a decent A execute. However, it's not the style they want to play. They don't want to be the team that just try to force themselves through a smoke. A nice entry kill there from Maikelele. And I wouldn't be surprised if NaVi just keeps playing passive, though. They're still in a 4v5, and it's CT on Overpass. It's still doable.
33 seconds on the clock for Kinguin to continue the damage. Will Rain spot the jump here? No, Edward will do it, but he'll be traded by Fox. That's really important. That may speed up the Kinguin approach here, but there's a lurker going through Monster, and they are rotating towards the B bomb site. flamie holding down shot. 2 frags for him and the bomb. 2 plays remaining. flamie with a 3rd. And this round is being completely shut down. 13 seconds left on the clock, and this is undoable for Maikelele.
Oh,
there's going to be a bit of a knife fight there. God. We're in the schoolyard, and things are getting ugly.
We're back in Peckham, James.
We are indeed. We're outside a chicken shop, and there's blood all over the place. Maikelele is still alive somehow. I have no idea how he's still alive. But he is, and he has an AWP, and that's something.
Just look at the confidence there from NaVi. They are so sure they're going to win that just run towards the last player with the knives, even though it might force them to a few ecos if they lose this round. They just know they're going to pick up that last round eventually.
9 match points.
The
9 match points.
Blatt is on flamie right now. He's got out the auto sniper.
He's whipped out the Ric Flair, Dan, dirtiest player in the game.
Absolutely. It's looking like confidence here for NaVi. They know they are so far ahead at the moment. They have sprung back into action, and they are taking a kind of semi-passive approach here. They've got some aggressions, but the monster push is coming in. You're talking about just taking the angels, the contact play into the site, but it's being completely ripped apart by NaVi at the moment. They're all stacked up in monster, and Zeus is on the other side behind the smoke, ready and waiting. And Kinguin need to reassess their approach. Now they're down 3 versus 4.
What happened there for Kinguin? It looked like they expected a pop flash because they stood with their back towards the B side, but then nothing happened and they just fell back.
We may be at the bitter end here for Kinguin as only 2 players remain. They've entertained us, but now it's time for the King to execute the Jester. Only Scream and Fox. They will get 1 frag onto Zeus, so they're going to thin the numbers of the NaVi side. 3 versus 2, but the Ric Flair is still in position. And it may be clattering away. There goes 1. Can he find a second? Fox is tagged, and he will find the frag. Oh! And a second one. Can he clutch it for his team and keep them in the match?
He's got 25 seconds to play with at the moment, and he's looking for that one-on-one. The quick reload, though, before an engagement can be found. But time is really a huge issue at the moment. He wants to try to avail himself up for a quick plant using the incendiary. He's got to go for the plant right now. There's not much time to dance around. He's going totally open, and Edward will walk up, take him down, and NaVi are through. Kinguin are out. They made a great show of it, but the balance has been restored. Balance has been restored to the Force, and NaVi are going to move through.
Yeah, very impressive though from play from Kinguin winning Inferno. I would never, of all these 3 maps, I would say it's most likely they're gonna win Overpass, second Dust 2, and last Inferno. So very impressive stuff there. And yeah, just a nice first tournament with this lineup.
Yeah, that was a really great performance. Again, Kinguin coming in very short notice, unprepared, new players, and again, you know, they really earned some respect in this tournament, it must be said. Taking down Virtus.pro, taking NaVi to the limit here. You saw the emotional turmoil, the trauma that they caused Zeus and the rest of his team in the second map. Again, it was a complete write-off, like a flaming car on a motorway there, but they, like in terms of their chances to win the map, but they managed to do it and take us to a 3rd.
Yeah, just very impressive stuff, and I still like that we can see NaVi play their default game where they just play very disciplined. I just want to use the example where Zeus got the entry kill now on Overpass, where they just all fell back compared to the one on Inferno when they got the entry kill on to B, where they just kept pushing. So you can just see the difference in the play there for NaVi.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because Kinguin were a team where I'm like, okay, we know that they have a lot of individual skill. The roles might be an issue, the leadership might be an issue, but they're able to post some results here today. So it's going to be interesting to hear what they have to say at NaVi, as we do have an interview lined up for you guys. Let's check it out.
Thanks very much, Dan. I am here with Guardian after a very... Would you say that was a convincing win? Or they really pushed you to the edge there slightly?
Yeah, especially in Dust 2. No, it was Inferno. Probably one of our best maps, but yeah, we had some troubles in game and we made so many mistakes. We were raging at each other, so yeah, we lost like a team, not skill-wise, but we lost like by team spirit.
Like mentally, in your minds, you're a little bit saddened by that second map?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, yeah, we are sad about the second map, but as you said, we lost mentally.
Yeah, you bounced back though in the third. Coming into this though, beforehand, you obviously saw Kinguin. They went 16-0 earlier. They were obviously on a high. How were you feeling going into it? Did you feel like, wow, okay, we need to take these guys seriously, or did you go into it thinking, okay, no, this is a new team. We're better than them. We can do this.
Well, we were thinking seriously from the beginning of the tournament because you know, skill-wise they're really good, like individually. And you cannot just underestimate any team because they can do anything they want. So they have nothing to lose and they want to improve. So you have to take seriously all games against them. And yeah, we were kind of surprised that they won 16-0 against Virtus.pro. It was probably the first time I've seen something like that. So yeah, it was kind of scary.
Yeah, to see a score like that at a tournament like this with these kind of teams is definitely not something we see every day. But let's go back to that second map then, Inferno, where obviously it all went a little bit downhill. But there was a couple of timeouts that you guys took in that map. And it seemed like Zeus was being really vocal. And I know the first half, you'd lost the first 4 rounds. After that timeout, after that discussion, you won the next 6, I think, after that. Like, what kind of discussion goes on in a timeout at that stage?
Well, sometimes it's just to calm down and think about the game. Because sometimes we do a lot of stupid mistakes, like we start to argue each other because of some stupid kill, and you know it's like a train action. Like one starts, then second one, third one. So yeah, it was like team raging. So we needed to calm down and think about the game.
How important is Starks in that situation where you guys are getting stressed out in game? He was obviously having a good conversation with Zeus at one point, and after that point, it did seem to go uphill for you guys. Like, how important is that to have a coach like that behind you?
He's very important, especially for Zeus, because he's the kind of guy that he's raging a lot when we are not doing what he wants. So in this situation, we have Starix to calm him down. So he's very helpful. Without him, I don't know what would happen.
And so now you are in the semi-finals. You go through tomorrow to play TSM. Are you going to be watching loads of demos tonight, or are you just going to chill out? And how are you going to prepare for tomorrow's games?
Well, first of all, we have to prepare ourselves by mentally. We cannot do the same thing like we have done last game now. So we have to think about it. We have to calm down. We have to let it go and just see the next game.
Fantastic. Congratulations for making it through day 2, and you can definitely relax now, and thank you guys for sticking with us, and we're going to take it back to the desk where they can analyze those 3 maps a little bit closely.
Thanks a lot for that, James, and lots to analyze really. I guess we'll start with sort of the end of Kinguin's magical adventure, which is, you know, it's got to be said, we sort of wrote them off for that first game, and then they beat Virtus.pro, and then we kind of wrote them off again for NaVi, and they took a map, and it was competitive on the last one. I mean, I've got to say, I'm really surprised they were able to win Inferno, because NaVi have had some very good results on that lately, and Kinguin really gave a good account of themselves this tournament, it's got to be said.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Kinguin, but you could hear there from Guardian that we saw a lot of choke from NaVi in that game. They didn't play the regular style.
Yeah.
You could see Zeus going for crazy plays where he just was pushing all alone. And if you play that style versus a team like Kinguin, who has obviously extremely good aimers, you're just going to get so punished for it.
It's got to be said as well, one of the standout players of the tournament, even though he's not going to be in the final day, I thought Rain's been immense. There's been a lot of people talking about, you know, the big transfer fee that was talking about, I think it was 40,000 euros or whatever it was to get him out of his contract to get him there. Did a lot to justify that this tournament. James, I'm looking at you here. What have you made of him?
Yeah, he's been a consistent performer for them. There's been a number of situations where he's got multi-kills as well. You know, deserved of Quake sounds. And, you know, they've paid off for the team. I think they were unfortunate not to go further. There were more questions on Overpass to be asked, but, you know, we can come to that a bit later, but Rain has been one of the outstanding performers for Kinguin in this tournament, absolutely. Yeah,
and any thoughts from you, Dan, about where Kinguin are going to sort of go from here? Because, I don't know, I kind of get what you're saying. Like, I felt, oh, you know, Virtus.pro, we said they had a meltdown, and then we said NaVi had a choke on Inferno. Do we get into some, like, murky territory when we as analysts, desks, you know, casters, whatever you want to call us, we do start saying, well, yeah, they won that game, but they beat them when they were at their worst, so it doesn't really count. You know, we saw this with Cloud9 versus EnVyUs. We were saying, yeah, you beat EnVyUs in the best of 3 twice, but look where EnVyUs are. They kick players straight afterwards. So do we need to be realists about it, or do we just need to give Kinguin credit?
I think, of course, you need to give them credit for persevering with what they have, because they've actually made a market improvement on their formula. Of course, they brought Denis in. They realized that, okay, the calling is actually an issue. And for me, when I first saw that lineup, I was like, okay, it looks cool on paper, but roles, how do the roles even work? You don't have to actually just sculpt this into something different from what the players are used to playing. You need someone who understands the game really, really well. You need a very good coach figure, almost someone who's very experienced to come in and step in and try to take the reins. So I had so many questions about it. They've obviously found form with their strengths. And as Threat said, I feel like they are the best team at punishing a team that's tilting, because they hit all the shots. These guys are really, really clutch. They have amazing individual skill. All they need is just to tie in a lot more strategy, a lot more tactics, just look at that part of the game a bit more. I think, of course, the coaching can really help them come in with that. Of course, T-side calling is going to be a big, big issue. I mean, having the coach calling is quite weird. I think that's going to be a bit of a struggle. I think they've got a long way to go.
I agree with them, by the way. I think that's the future of the game. I think that's where it's headed. I think, for example, if a Titan were doing that with Existence and like had one other player that can actually frag in that team, I think Titan aren't in the mess they're in where they're trading players to EnVyUs and whatnot. So I agree with Kinguin. I think it's the direction to go in.
And I think that a key thing is also they did get 16-0 versus Virtus.pro. So even if Virtus.pro is choking, if you win 16-0 versus a team like Virtus.pro, you're doing something right.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Overpass before we wax lyrical about NaVi and then take a quick break. Overpass, James, you said there was more questions to be asked on that map. So right now, me and Henry, we had a theory that maybe NaVi are the best team in the world on Overpass right now. They seem to have it nailed. But there were some weaknesses, there were some cracks showing there. So just talk me through that. What are your observations?
Well, on the CT side, Kinguin were super aggressive, and they had their strategies. They had some solid strats coming out, and they had an early pick in the connector area on one particular round, and then they were moving to try and take control of the sewer area. And they were both in the doorway, and it was Seas, right? He'd come down into connector, see what's going on. Saw 2 players just going through the door, looking away, easy 2-man spray down, leaving the CT side crippled with lots of time on the clock. And that was the round that NaVi took, and then they just went absolutely nuts after that. And it really caused so many problems for the CTs. But if that one scenario within that round doesn't happen, then who knows where we are? Maybe Kinguin end up the winners. They had good momentum before that happened. So, you know, that really just completely put the brakes on the train there, and then it went off the rails after that, basically.
Anything to add that beyond? You are the resident pro, so...
Yeah, I completely agree, and especially with a team like NaVi who plays with the momentum so much. And as Guardian said, when they start to choke, they lose so many rounds. And after that crucial point, which you pointed out, where Seas got that double kill, it just looked like they gained all the momentum again. I think they won 3 rounds in a row, forced them to an eco, and then they got 9 rounds on that T side, which should make it almost 100% that you win the map.
Yeah. Let's talk about NaVi then, because, you know, they're looking very good. They've had some ups and downs here. They did lose to Cloud9 early on, which meant they've had to slog their way through to get to this final day. But they've done it. Then they're going to be up against TSM. A TSM coming back from a break where they haven't been putting a lot. There's still an opportunity here for them to be in another final, which would be a huge advancement. So, first question is, do we think NaVi are realistic contenders for this tournament? And second of all, why?
Personally, I feel like NaVi will perform better against what they perceive to be a stronger team. And you saw, I mean, that was a straight up fury you could see on camera after Zeus there. And I can only guess that he's like, why are we losing to these guys who are completely unproven? Like, who do they think they are? You know, that kind of thing going on. And I don't feel like that scenario should, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I don't think it should happen against a stronger opponent, a team who have been together for longer and have records in place. So I think they should learn from this scenario now. They can go back to the spa in the hotel, walk around in their sandals and their robes and lord it up a bit, and then come back tomorrow relaxed and prepared for a big battle.
And what about you, Dan? Any thoughts on, you know, again, individual players? I mean, Guardian's been imperious. I thought flamie was a little bit disappointing in that series. I was expecting him to go off like a firecracker after the ESWC he had. But Seized, I thought, again, was kind of that consistent linchpin that they needed. He was picking up important kills. Any observations from you?
I really think that a lot of it is attributed to the chaos that happened within the team and kind of expanded out of Zeus. Because the problem is as well, I think, if you've got players that are less experienced and flamie is going to be chief amongst those, he's much more of an up-and-comer of the team, then you're going to probably be affected by that the most. Because you don't know what's going on, your regular environment's been shaken up a little bit of how the general vibe is in the team, so it's going to hurt your performance. Maybe, you know, he's a lurker as well, so he's going to be relying a lot on what his team are doing in a lot of situations. So if the stuff's not lining up properly, you can have pretty bad games. So I think I actually agree with James here. I think they're going up to the team against TSM, a team they really respect. So I would actually expect flamie to return to some of his decent form recently. The cool thing for me is that Seized is playing so well at the moment. And Guardian, he's a big game deliverer. He just always delivers. He gets stronger and stronger in massive games. Overpass is a map which he doesn't typically depend to deliver that much on. So I don't think I think we'll see a return to regular NaVi as well. And I think that I actually and thinking of favoring them in the matchup, but it's very, very hard because they both have very deep map pools. So, because I'm trying to run the maps through my head, and it's quite difficult. I can see you disagree with me that you're going TSM all the way, but you're a big TSM fanboy.
I completely agree with you that NaVi will play a lot better in the game versus TSM tomorrow. However, I don't think I would favor them versus TSM. TSM played great versus Fnatic yesterday, even though we didn't see JW in that game. I still think maybe 70-30 in favor of TSM.
70-30.
Yeah.
Well, can I have you down a little bit? 60-40 maybe?
Nah, mate, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I got a gut feeling for NaVi as well, but we must leave it there. Again, it's great to get your thoughts, pick your brains. But we are going to take a break, and what we've got coming up afterwards is going to be immense. I know you guys are looking forward to it. NIP versus Fnatic. One of these guys are going to be going home. This is what CSGO is all about.
I want to see a bloodbath.
Oh, it's going to be. It's going to be, and of course, all the history between the organizations, between the players, and all the rumors that are flying around right now. This is like a super, super great game. It could have a huge impact as well, the result on the shape of the scene. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we're going to be back in about 15 minutes. So do not go too far. Get fed, get watered. You are not going to want to miss this. We'll see you after the break.